So far, the 2020 NFL offseason has already been one of the most exciting and, in a way, weirdest that we have ever seen. From a new CBA being passed that's going to allow an expanded playoffs to 7 teams and eventually 17 games, to Tom Brady, the GOAT, 6 time Super Bowl champion, after 20 years going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the blockbuster trade with DeAndre Hopkins, a potential Hall of Fame wide receiver talent, going to the Arizona Cardinals. And by the way, I don't know why Bill O'Brien still has his job, but that isn't why we're here. And three former number one overall picks, being Jadeveon Clowney, Cam Newton, and Jameis Winston, still being on the market. But we're not here to talk about any of that in detail. We're here to talk about my team, the Atlanta Falcons. So, without further ado, let's talk about the 2020 NFL offseason for the Atlanta Falcons. So let's really start off with some of the minor re-signings that we did this off season. These aren't really the big ones, but these are still definitely worth talking about. So we re-signed veteran cornerback Billy Ray Wilson to a 1-year deal, where we re-signed fullback Keith Smith to a 3-year deal worth 5.5 million, and then we also re-signed defensive tackle Tyler Davidson to a 3-year deal worth 12.5 million. As far as Billy Ray Wilson, he is a great veteran piece. I believe he did have an interception last year. Mark me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had an interception against the Jaguars last year. But he is a great, piece in the cornerback room, especially now knowing that, our top corner is gone, but more on that in a bit. As far as Keith Smith goes, he is a great back. And really what a fullback is, a guy that can, really is meant sometimes around the goal line, but morely in, like, say a, second and 1 or a third and inches situation where, like, you have to get maybe just a yard or two to keep the drive going. And then Tyler Davidson, he's a great depth to this team, someone that, we can put beside Grady Jarrett sometimes, or be a second string defensive tackle if, say, Grady or someone else that we bring in gets injured. So that wasn't, all of it. That was just, some of the, re-signings that we did. And now let's get into some of the bigger moves that the Falcons have made in the 2020 offseason. So now we head into the cuts, and boy, were there quite a good bit of cuts this off season for the Falcons. So we start off with the Falcons cutting tackle Ty Sambrailo. They cut it running back Devontae Freeman and cornerback Desmond Trufant. As far as Sambrailo goes, he was a okay depth piece. Like, he wasn't, like the greatest depth piece in the world. A decent depth piece. As far as Freeman goes, whether you liked him or hated him, whether he was one of your favorite Falcons of all time, it was coming. It was time to build on the future of the running back position. Running backs do not last long in the NFL, and Freeman had already seen his best day. He, is probably going to maybe end up spending the rest of his career as like a number 2 back or something. And then overall, it's just really, the fact that he had a big contract and, he was holding us up. And then lastly, Desmond Trufant. This was the one I was shocked about. Because when I really thought, about it, the Falcons, it's like, every offseason they do kind of always do this one move that I really kind of do disagree with. And these moves do really sound, that I'm about to list, do kind of really sound a little, in a way, dumb. But, the moves I'm about to list. But these are, if you really think about it, they are moves that could have happened. I think about, the 2017 offseason right after the Super Bowl. Why didn't we try to keep Matt LaFleur as, our offensive coordinator? And let him go to the Rams? He had been in Shanahan's system. He knew it. And he really, this past year from Green Bay, and in 2017, when he was with the Rams, in 2018, when he was working with the Titans offensive lead. Those were all, run-heavy offenses. And, maybe he could have been able to save Freeman, possibly. Freeman did have 800 yards that year. And then there really wasn't a bad one the 2018 offseason. But then last year, 2019, it was letting Tevin Coleman go. And, maybe, I think that maybe we should have tried to find a way to keep him, because our running game was awful last year. And Coleman, yes, it would have been him having to, get used to another offensive scheme. But if we're talking about last year, he was better than Freeman. And then this offseason, the Trufant cut. The Trufant cut, after this, we have no corners at all. No one to be able to guard Michael Thomas. No one to be able to guard, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. No one able to cover DJ Moore. And really, that isn't what you want when you have a division full of great, talented receivers. So now let's get into the signings and trades the Falcons made this offseason. Okay, so now for the most important part of this video is the free agency moves that the Falcons have made, which means the signings and trades they have made. So let's start with the more smaller signings. The Falcons have signed Roy Reynolds to a 1-year deal. He's coming over from the Bengals, and I believe played with the Falcons before. He really is more used on special teams, so I really don't have a lot to say. He'll definitely, improve our special teams. And then we signed guard Justin McCray to a 1-year deal. He is coming over from the Browns, and really he is going to be a depth piece for, he's going to be a depth piece. And, maybe he'll play some if he's thrown over at left guard. I believe that's where he plays, so maybe he'll be thrown over at left guard. But here is where my favorite moves, and I think y'all's favorite moves, start to come in. So, let's start with our first new acquisition, whatever you want to call it. That's coming over when the Atlanta Falcons traded a second and fourth round pick to the Baltimore Ravens for tight end Hayden Hurst, and a fourth round pick in this year's draft, and that second round pick was also one of ours in this year's draft as well. So we flip-flopped, I think it was a fifth rounder. It was a fifth rounder. Yeah, it was a fifth rounder that we sent to them, and they sent us a fourth with Hayden Hurst. Obviously, we lost Austin Hooper to the Browns, and really,
he's paid the highest, he's now the highest paid tight end in the league. And that's something that we couldn't afford. So, we needed to get a replacement, and Hayden Hurst is going to be a great replacement. The Falcons also signed Laquan Treadwell to a 1-year deal, and he will either be our number 3 receiver. He's going to see the field some, but he's not going to see it, he's not going to be our number 1 or 2 guy. Now, if, say, someone like Ridley goes down, then, he's a good depth piece to this team, but we get to start getting into my favorite moves. The Atlanta Falcons finally did something with the pass rush position, signing linebacker, well, he's a DN, Dante Fowler Jr. to a 3-year deal. Dante Fowler wants to play for Dan Quinn. Falcons are loving Dante Fowler. This is all perfect, and really, this is a great move by Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn to get Dante Fowler on this team, who had 11.5 sacks this year, and hearing him, and this won't happen, but hearing him say he wants to break Michael Strahan's single-season sack record is absolutely amazing, and I am just so, pumped we have this guy, and now you all will know what's next. The Los Angeles Rams released running back Todd Gurley. Yes, 2017 Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley. Yes, 2015 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Todd Gurley. Yes, 2-time First-Team All-Pro, Todd Gurley. And then, about 16 hours later, you could go check out my Todd Gurley mix I made yesterday, and my Calvin Ridley mix. You could go check out my 2 mixes I made. They're okay. But the Falcons signed running back Todd Gurley to a 1-year deal. Now, the reason why they released him was because of his knee. I am concerned about his knee and how it will hold up. But, I really, kind of am shocked that, some people, are saying that this is, gonna be, that this could blow up. Now, it always could. That knee could, because his arthritis could get worse as time goes on. But, I think that this was a great pickup. It's definitely an upgrade over Devontae Freeman. He fits their cutter system. And really, this was just a great move by, the Falcons. And, once they saw Todd Gurley hit the market, they pounced on him. And they got him under contract. And that's what, I love to see. Todd Gurley, he's not the Todd Gurley of, 2017 anymore. But I do believe it's still going to be a pretty productive Todd Gurley. He's not going to be 2017 type, but he'll be a pretty good running back still. So yeah, that is all of our free agency moves. But I do have one thing I want to discuss before I get out of here. And that one thing is obviously the new uniforms. The Atlanta Falcons, after 17 years, have finally got new uniforms, and they're pretty damn sick, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I love these. Yes, they do kind of look like XFL uniforms, and I want to make this very, very quick, but I like this. And my personal favorite is actually the red and then fading into black. Lots of people don't like these, but I actually do. And then the row ones, they are super sick. Like, I could go talking about these two all day. And then obviously our home ones are sick. And then, the throwback ones, they're always sick when we wear those. So, what are my conclusions? I'm going to try to buy Grady Jarrett's jersey, in the red one, but I don't really know, but we will just see. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's been long, I apologize. But yes, my next video will most likely be my mock draft coming out Thursday or Friday. And until then, rise up.